don't even work. I catch your young ass, I'm gonna flip. He was 15 years old, but his bitch ass should have been spinning, that's why we flip.
Because I feel like the city really took off, got behind that one, man.
The city fell in love with that, everybody. They still singing that to this day.
Yeah. And what's that chemistry like with you and No Savage, man? Because it's like, y'all don't miss when y'all be dropping shit right now.
Nah, we just get in there and just go.
DC Police Sergeant last night. News Force Mark Seagraves breaking that news on Twitter about 90 minutes ago. The sergeant works in the department's 5th district. A DC police spokesperson tells News 4 that the sergeant faces several charges, including assault on an officer, fleeing the scene, and weapons charges as well. We are working to find out more about what happened before the arrest. As soon as we learn more, we'll have it for you.
Sometimes your biggest downfall ain't the system. It ain't your haters. It's you, the choices you made, the people you surround yourself with. And in this story, we got a man who had talent, still do, opportunity. Another shot to break a generational curse through music. But instead of the spotlight, he ended up in the headlines of the news. In handcuffs once again. Today, fam, we talk about one of the most talked about neighborhoods in Washington, D.C. A neighborhood with a handful of rappers who got a name for themselves just based on rapping alone. But we narrow that down on 1 or 2 men. Mainly about a man with a gift for music, but a trail of street choices and a circle that keep pulling them back. His most recent run-in with the law didn't just end in a traffic stop. It raised eyebrows across the city, knowing he was arrested with a sergeant, and the charges just so happens to drop. Now, recently, the sergeant who got caught with him, I say this out the gate, they sang from his neighborhood. Now, we'll later confirm and deny those allegations in this story. On top of the fact we talking about an officer and a local rapper being arrested together, fam, it seemed they also had switches in the car. Now, for those who don't know, this isn't just a random name off the block when it comes to this rapper. This is a name that's been talked about in the DC circles for years. People said he had the voice, the energy, the pen to put the city on the map again. Coming from one of the most respected and most troubled neighborhoods in the district, he carried both the weight of the environment and the gift of music talent that could have taken him far and still can. But like many stories we covered, the streets never let go. Months back, his name came up in paperwork tied to a shooting that he had retaliated against on top of the hill in his own neighborhood. We did that story. I'll leave the link in the bio. That landed him 20 to 21 months. It was supposed to be a lesson, the turning point, a chance to get out, focus on music, and finally separate himself from the cycle. Yet and still instead, here we go again. Fresh out, continuing his rap career, but once more, back in police reports. Instead of Billboard charts, the question remains, is the talent we're watching grow? Or is this another DC story of potential wasted before it even get the chance to breathe? Today we go over this story, briefly talk about this man and also another fellow rapper that associate with his community. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. Washington, D.C. has always had a complicated relationship when it comes to law enforcement. Unlike most cities, it doesn't have a full statehood or control over its laws. Congress and federal agencies can step in at any time. Back in the 1980s and the 1990s, D.C. was labeled the murder capital. During the crack epidemic, federal agencies like the DEA and the ATF flooded the city, running joint operations with MPD. That's when a lot of neighborhood names like Berry Farms, Simple City, and 37 became locked into the public record. Now, for those who've been living under a rock, Trump has promised the federal crackdown on crime in major cities. He's spoken about using the National Guard and federal agents, and D.C. was the first stop, which is somewhat why we're here today. In early 2025, reports suggested he was expanding mandatory minimums for gun crimes and give prosecutors more tools to go after gangs, drug networks, and people caught with switches and auto sears, which leading to more arrests in the city and more routine traffic stops. But today we focus on one neighborhood, 37 Place Southeast. Some consider small in size, but big in block identity. Like other named blocks in DC, it's rep heavy in lyrics and visuals. Being from there, some consider it's both a stamp of pride and a target. Police already associate the block with activity, and any artist coming out of there carries the stigma, whether fair or not. Now, some know the name Shy Glizzy, but nowadays, that's the afterthought when it comes to the talent coming out of 37. You got No Savage, a person who we once covered, did a shooting inside of a mall, allegedly, took a plea, came home in 3 years. Then you got Baby Jamo, a man once arrested after crashing a stolen vehicle at the U.S. Capitol, running from the police, him and his partner being caught with a switch. Now, he came home after doing some time, about 3 years, but recently got arrested after allegedly cutting off his box while on probation. And because of that, he had charges like prison escape. And then you got GizWop, a rapper from 37 who we also once covered, as mentioned earlier before. A man who was on camera shooting at his op alone after they spent this neighborhood, causing him to be shot in the process, which allegedly led to a funeral shooting the next day. Now, GizWop recently came home earlier this year, dropping new music with Chicago rappers like Q50.
And do you prefer to like record by yourself or have your peoples with you, or it don't really matter for you?
No, it don't matter.
Yeah.
It don't really matter.
And when do you feel like you make your best music then? It's like when you're in a good mood, or you pissed off at the world, or you're going through some real life shit, or what?
That should be mixed for real.
Yeah.
That should be mixed.
I dig it, man. Money and Murder, this shit went crazy too, man.
Man, they fell in love with that one. I knew that was gonna do something once I made that jump.
For real?
Yeah.
Then he hit him with that War General too. That shit been going crazy.
Oh man, I ain't even think it was gonna be so much.
Yeah.
I ain't think it was gonna do all that. But
For
that
real?
motherfucker ended up blowing. That's when I knew I had him for real.
Oh shit. So what was that time like? It's like every video you was dropping was going crazy at this time, man.
Man, that shit, man, I ain't gonna lie, that was a wonderful, wonderful feeling. That's what motivated me to keep dropping videos.
Yep. And then that What About Buddy, that shit a classic, man.
And that's my favorite jump to this day.
Huh.
What About Body?
Was that your favorite shit like when you recorded it, or it kind of takes some time to grow on you, or what?
Once I recorded What About Body, that jump was like that. I'm like, man, I gotta shoot this ASAP, What About Body?
Yeah, and that shit went crazy when he put it out too.
Nah, for real.
But then unfortunately after that, you had to go sit down, man.
Yeah, man. And that's crazy too.
So where were you at mentally during that time, knowing like, man, your music career's taking off, the whole city behind you, and now you got to go sit down for a bit, man?
Man, I was irritated. I ain't gonna lie. I was irritated, but I just put it to reality, man. If they fucking with me when I come back, I know they gonna fuck with me again.
Yep. And what kept you positive during those times that you was locked away there, man?
Man, just my family, knowing what I'm coming home to. You get what I'm saying? Still in a good position to take off.
Yeah. And what was your experience being locked up? Because I'm sure a lot of people knew who you were inside too, man.
Nah, like in my city, like the jail, but they didn't have me over they didn't send me to my jail. They sent me like federal holdover, so I was cool. Like some other guys, they'd come across, but it wasn't really none. Like when I hit the feds, I wasn't on no rap time or nothing. Okay. Nothing like that. Letting niggas know I rap. I wasn't on that.
Yeah. And where all did they have you stationed at? Because I know in federal they usually move you around a lot too.
Yeah, they just had me like in Warsaw, shit like that out. Like that was on the holdover part until I got sent to the feds.
Okay, yeah. And how long did you end up? You did a little under 2 years, right?
Yeah. I think like 20 months.
Okay.
Now that interview was released a month after Giz came home, just 5 months ago. Fast forward to the last day of September of 2025 on the 30th, Tuesday, he was arrested once again. But this time, he had 2 accomplices. And one happened to be a 27-year-old sergeant for the 5th District in Washington, D.C. His name was Sergeant Montez Clark. He was arrested and charged with assault on a federal officer, fleeing from law enforcement and leaving after colliding, D.C. police had quoted. He was behind the wheel of a blue Chevrolet Camaro that crashed into a vehicle with 3 diplomatic security service agents, according to police. And as mentioned earlier in the video, they there due to this new Trump mandate. Clark and 2 other men, Saku Yates, 25, and GizWop, Russell Campbell, 23, were also charged with possession of a machine gun, carrying a pistol without a license, and possession of an unregistered gun. They was also charged with possession of large capacity ammunition feeding device and violating the National Firearms Act. The feeding device was a switch. Now GizWop, aka Campbell, was charged with felon in possession.
DC police sergeant in custody this evening along with 2 other men, and he's charged with several offenses including assault on a federal officer and possession of a machine gun.
News 4's Mark Seagraves broke the story on social media this morning. He has the details on this troubling case.
The 3 men face a total of 10 charges, including multiple gun charges. One of the men arrested is a D.C. police sergeant with 6 years on the force. Another is a convicted felon. According to this police report, it happened about 9:30 last night here in the 4700 block of Southern Avenue Southeast near the D.C.-Maryland line. Police attempted to stop a blue Chevy Camaro for a routine traffic stop when the Camaro began to flee, eventually crashing into a vehicle occupied by 3 diplomatic security service agents. The DSS is the law enforcement arm of the State Department. All 3 men in the Camaro were arrested. According to police, 27-year-old Montez Clark was driving the car. Clark is a sergeant assigned to the 5th Police District. The three are charged with various crimes, including assault on a federal law enforcement officer, unlawful possession of a machine gun, and possession of a large-capacity ammunition feeding device. News 4 asked Mayor Bowser about the arrest at a press event this morning.
I can't tell you anything, but if we have, we're going to watch the process very closely. We don't want anybody working for us, especially in that capacity, if they're engaging in that type of behavior.
Sergeant Clark and the other two defendants are due in court for their initial appearance sometime today. In the newsroom, Mark Seagraves, News 4.
Thank you, Mark. We have reached out to the State Department about the conditions of their agents. We have not heard back.
Now, for those who are wondering, it's been allegedly reported that the sergeant is from 37. And what's even more alarming is that the sergeant, according to recent reports, allegedly took the charge. Everything was dropped when it came to GizWop, which makes you wonder, is this a plot for a bigger indictment against 37? Or is this yet another opportunity to take advantage of his talents? I guess only time will tell. Now, at some point, we gotta ask ourselves, fam, what good is talent if the streets keep writing the story? Opportunities don't come twice for everybody. And sometimes, even the second chances come with chains attached. As of now, this is just an update. But only time will tell what the future will bring. Fam, this was the story of a local rapper and a sergeant from DC, allegedly from the same neighborhood, getting arrested after running from police, crashing into another police agency vehicle, and getting caught with a switch. As more develop, I'll keep you guys updated. Until then, let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.